Hey guys, Derek here. Today I want to talk about intermittent fasting, or IF. I hate saying intermittent fasting, it's a mouthful, so we're going to call it IF from now on, okay? So can a little fasting help? You know, in my studio, I'm sorry I'm sniffling guys, I'm fighting a bit of a cold here. In my studio, I often get asked what's the best way to lose fat, because that's what I primarily focus on, that's my niche. I work with people in changing their lives via losing fat and losing weight. 9 times out of 10, 90-95% of the time, I have my clients on a protocol that is, 5-6 meals a day, eating every 2 to 3 hours for a number of reasons. Creating good habits, it keeps the metabolism revved up. There's a number of reasons why that works. I do it, it works for me. Having said that, it doesn't work for everybody. There's that 5, 7, even 10% of people who are just like, Derek, I can't eat every 2 to 3 hours. Derek, I cannot eat breakfast. So I've had to do a little bit of research. Intermittent fasting is something that's getting, or IF, is getting very popular. And I read a guy that I follow a bit, Brad Pylon, read his book, Eat, Stop, Eat. And a lot of the information in there made a lot of sense. And I've started implementing this with some of my clients, not a lot of them, because I will warn you, IF is not for everyone. And I'll go through what that kind of looks like and why it may not be for you. But it does make sense in a lot of ways. So let's go into intermittent fasting and take a look at what that looks like and what that means, okay? So, bam. Intermittent fasting, let's talk about how that works. So fasting basically is skipping meals or eating a low-calorie diet. Now, let's back up a bit. Low-calorie diets have been around forever. If you go on a low-calorie diet for too long, it sucks because you're going to have to put your calories back up eventually and you're going to put the weight back on. Enough said. Don't do low-calorie diets for an extended period of time. Do not do extended time slots of extremely low-calorie diets because it will come back and bite you in the ass. At first, it's okay. You're going to lose the weight. You're going to be happy, but eventually you will get that yo-yo effect when you go back to living life normally, okay? What I teach and what I coach to in my protocols is all about lifestyle change and eating sensibly and portion control and stuff that will work every single day for the rest of your life. Intermittent fasting is one of those eating styles. It's not a diet, okay? So I really hate using the word diet. It's an eating protocol or plan or lifestyle plan that may work for the long term, okay? So let's talk about it. So with intermittent fasting, you basically make a conscious decision about what meals you'll skip and what time of day you reserve for eating. Here's an example. Here's what I do now. I don't eat after about 7 o'clock at night, and I eat my first meal in the morning at 7 or 8 in the morning. So even though I'm up at 6 in the morning and doing some work and writing and doing these videos for you guys, I give myself a 12-hour or so window of fasting. That's my fasting, okay? If I have had a weekend where it's been rough, like over Christmas or New Year's, where I've been going nuts, eating all kinds of great food, because we all do it, and you should enjoy it, but get back on track like as fast as you can. And if I do something like that, the Monday following, I'll usually eat a little bit less. I might skip a meal, or instead of eating at 8 in the morning, I won't eat until 10 or 11 that next morning. So I'm just giving myself an extended fast, cutting back a little bit of calorie intake, just to equalize myself after beating the snot out of my body, eating too much junk, okay? I hope that makes sense. So let's look at this. A healthy way to fast is to choose 1 to 3 days a week as your fasting days. It's that simple. And there are a few ways you can do this. One form of IF is to set aside certain hours of the day to eat. Just like I just told you, I don't eat really most of the time from 6, 7 p.m. till the next morning at the same time, so I'm doing a 12-hour fast right out of the gate, okay? So here's an example. Many people choose to skip breakfast and only eat from noon till 8 in the evening, splitting their total calories essentially between 2 meals, okay? Now that doesn't mean you can eat whatever you want, and we'll go through that. Another type of fasting, simple way to fast, and this is easy ways for you to try this and implement it, is skip 2 full meals a day. Okay, that means you'll go a full 24 hours without food. Eat dinner at 6 skip breakfast and lunch the next day. Exactly what I said. The type of protocol I use if I've had a weekend where I've, fallen off the wagon. And yes, I fall off the wagon too, just like you will, or you do, okay? So there's a couple simple ways to do that. Another way that you can do that is only eat half or a quarter the amount of calories when you're eating. Sorry, so a little sidetrack there. So if you're eating your regular meals, just cut your calories back a bit, and that's another form of fasting. Okay, I don't think that if you're going to try this fasting, intermittent fasting, that's the way to go, because you're really not doing a whole lot. Okay, if you're going to try it, give it a try, see how it works for you. Try skipping a full meal, give yourself 6-8 hours in between, and you're really going to see a different impact. Okay, so let's talk about who should try this and who shouldn't. Okay, again, I'm sniffling, I apologize. So who should try it? So intermittent fasting can be, or IF can be, a powerful way to teach your body the difference between true hunger and mental hunger. So I'll repeat that: true hunger and mental hunger. So most of my clients, myself included, because I've taught myself to eat at certain times, I eat because it's that time to eat, right? My body and their bodies and your body are set in a regular meal schedule. Most people maybe eat breakfast, but they definitely eat lunch, and they could never miss supper, regardless of whether they're hungry. So it's a schedule in your mind, it's mental, and you eat. So regular fasting can help you learn if you're really hungry. So if you went from eating at 6 p.m. the night before, and you didn't eat again until lunch or dinner the next day, and you weren't hungry, I'm going to guess that you had a lot of mental triggers that get you to eat throughout the day. Okay? Now, some people eat when stressed, bored, depressed, okay? Fasting can help control those types of cravings. But, as you'll see here, you really need to be careful, because there's a couple different instances where you would not want to do this type of eating. Okay, so there's the obvious ones. If your kids, you would not put your kids on this. They need as much nutrients, healthy nutrients, as they can get because they're growing. Brain development, all those other good things. If you're pregnant, obviously you don't want to do this. Thinking of getting pregnant, getting healthy before you get pregnant. One that's not on here, my wife's doing it right now, breastfeeding. You do not want to do that if you're breastfeeding, okay? Because you need those extra calories, because you're basically the milk truck and your baby needs that milk, okay? Underweight adults, people with certain medical conditions should not skip meals. Another one that I think is extremely important to understand is if you have an emotional attachment to food, you absolutely need to be careful on this type of eating protocol, because what I found is sometimes when I stop myself from eating, when I fast for a bit of time, I think about food, and I don't use food as a crutch. Food to me, personally, as Derek, it's fuel. I barely taste food half the time. It drives my wife nuts. But that's the way I am. And that's the way I've trained myself to be. But if you have an emotional attachment to food, you eat because you're depressed or you're bored or whatever, you're stressed out, whatever's going on in your life, this may not be the type of protocol for you. Okay? So let's go into some more details here. So let's look at the possible benefits. So we've gone through who maybe shouldn't do it and why you should maybe do it and how to give it a try in a simple fashion. Let's look at the benefits. You're like, yeah, this is great, but what's it going to do for me? Well, first of all, it gives you a little bit of a calorie reduction for the day that you're fasting. Next, it has the ability to normalize your hunger hormones and your insulin, okay? It can lower your triglycerides. Try to say that 3 times. Triglycerides. It's possible that it reduces inflammation and can lessen the damage caused by free radicals. Now, the damage by free radicals is from toxins in the food and whatnot that you're taking into your body and from the environment. If you're eating less food, obviously the free radicals are going to be decreased. So I'm not sure that I agree with that 100%, but it is a possibility. It also could preserve your memory, increase your human growth hormone, HGH, which basically is the awesome hormone that keeps you young. So if we all could afford to get growth hormone injections, we could stay young forever, like some of the stars. And if you're producing more of it, then you're laughing because you stay young for a long time, less wrinkles, more energy, keep muscle mass, keep bone density, all those fantastic things that helps you lose fat and boost your metabolism. So just a bunch of things that it could possibly do for you, okay? Again, try it out and see if you feel a difference, okay? Again, as always, check with your doctor before you do any of these crazy things and make sure it's the right thing for you, okay? Timing your fast. So, how often you eat influences how your body treats food. So after a meal, after you eat, your body processes the food you've eaten and uses it to burn calories for energy rather than stored fat. So if you've eaten a meal and then you go work out or whatever and you've already metabolized that meal, your body will use that metabolized food, very simply, as the energy. But if you don't eat and you go do those same things and you have an active lifestyle, your body's going to use fat and a little bit of muscle, obviously, but fat to power your body to produce energy. So intermittent fasting, in theory, would help with weight loss because you'd be burning fat stores more readily, okay? So remember, just because you're skipping meals or eating less than normal doesn't mean you can eat a bunch of junk, okay? Or an excessive amount of calories. Oh, I just missed 2 meals so I can load up on the food. It doesn't work that way, okay? So, you need do less frequent eating. You actually need to plan better because you need to get all the nutrients, all the nutrient-dense foods, vitamins, minerals in the limited number of meals that you're having. Preferably you want them low on the GI or glycemic index scale. So you don't want those insulin spikes and stuff like that. You want stuff that is really good for you. If you're finding that you have a lack of energy or focus on your fasting days, then bump up your calories slightly and you may feel a little bit better. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I know this is a dumbed down version. It's very simple, but it gives you a little bit of an idea of what IF or intermittent fasting looks like. And you know what? This is a book that I've read. I just call it the Fasting Bible. And it's Eat, Stop, Eat by Brad Pilon. Pilon. Basically, it talks about intermittent fasting, how to implement it into your life and do it easily, and working out and how that all works. And the link here at the bottom, you can get your own copy there. He sent me a link so that you can pick it up for I think it's $9. It's pretty cheap. And read through it yourself. See if it's the right thing for you. And make your decision from there. And I hope this kind of opens your eyes to intermittent fasting and what's available and what's there. And give it a try. Let me know what you think. Take care. Hey guys, if you liked the video and it made sense, click like below, share with your friends. Let's get this content out there for people who might want to watch it, alright? Thanks guys. Take care.